Now, this is Dr. Bond Mad. Welcome back to Catapult Time. We're about to work some more on the dinosaur. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to turn our attention to the back of this, and I've got a couple of things to show you. For one, when I was going through my craft supplies, I found this cool looking little rubber snake. Now, as we all know, snakes came into prominence during the Cretaceous, so this will fit right in. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to glue him coming in maybe right here, or maybe coming up to the water like he's about to swim. Have him doing something like that. Let me see if I can get this where you can see it. See? Kind of have him like he's coming up like this. I'm waiting for the glue gun to heat up, and I'm also going to, while we're waiting, I'm going to paint up a few of these reeds. So let me get my real green. Pop this open, and we're going to paint some of these. Let me get this thing shaken up here. Sometimes paint separates, you know. So what we're going to do is we're going to paint this. Now, let me get my brush. Paint these reeds up. Get all this excess water off of it. Now, what we're going to do, let me move the diorama. I got a couple of other things we're going to be doing, but let me move the diorama over here so you can see what we are doing down here. What we're going to do is, you saw us do this with the stegosaurus. I'm going to try something a little bit different this time. See how I've got these little tassels up on the head? I'm going to paint them too. Kind of make it look like there's a little bit of a bloom or something on top of it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to lay that down there. I'll paint the head of it and the tail of it, and then just kind of, and I'll repaint them when I'm in the area that I can't get right now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to paint this end of it while I'm waiting for the glue gun to fire up, and I'll paint the other ends when they dry. Because you see, I've cut the heads off of some of these, like they've been, you know, maybe a herbivore, like a Parasaurolophus or something, has come by and snipped them. And these horsetails, they actually are still around today. And the species that's still with us is the one that kind of rose to prominence during the time of T-Rex. Also, I'll show you something else cool we're going to be doing in a minute. We're going to have a profusion of vegetation, and this one expected to be a lot more colorful than the Stegosaurus one, because the Jurassic, you didn't have the flowering plants, so it couldn't be near as bright and colorful. But you did have the profusion of plant life that suddenly exploded into color during the Cretaceous. So what we're going to do is we're going to paint all these little horsetails, at least on this end, and when they're dry I'll paint the other end. Kind of want them to look like they're tasseling up a little on the top. And we'll see how this turns out. Got one more to do. Alrighty. We're going to see how that turns out. And let me get my hands cleaned off here. Now I'll show you what else we're going to be doing. I think the glue gun's probably ready by now. Let me see here. So what we're going to do now, we're going to turn the camera around this way because we're about to start working on this end now. Alright. We've got these little pom-poms right here. These are going to kind of be like the low growth down here. Little shrub growth around T-Rex's feet. And I'll show you something else cool we're going to be doing. Let me get this where you can see what I'm doing here. See, I'm going to place these little pom-poms right down here around his feet. Kind of symbolize the low growth, you know. Have a few shrubs here and there. And I've got a bit of a surprise here in just a minute. It's kind of wanting to put a few little shrub-like growth here. Put one way off over here. And then I'll show you what else we're going to be doing. Because you got to remember, like I said, it's the rise of flowering plants. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put a few little flowers. In this case, I'm going to make these little pod-like flowers, kind of primitive type things that would possibly have sprung up during the Cretaceous on some of the gymnosperms. Let's see. We're going to put some, maybe a couple of red flowers popping up over here. As you got to remember, the Cretaceous was loaded with brightly colored little flowers, and a few little white ones. A couple of little white ones here, and over here. And I've got about 3 yellow ones that I'm going to place in place, or 2 yellow ones. Apparently one of them decided to take a powder. And I'll probably add a few more of these little pom-pom flowers as we go along. So there you are. See, the first flowering plants around the time of T-Rex. Now let's put our snake into place. In this case, what looks like to be like a green anaconda or some primitive pit viper. What we're going to do is just kind of put a little bit of glue right there and glue him down. So he's kind of like he's about to go off into the water, maybe getting himself a drink or something. But we're coming along. Got some low growth going on. We've got T-Rex coming up here. We got some broadleaf tropical plants coming around. Let's see if I can get this. You can really see it good. There you go. What do you think, guys? How's it coming along? Anyways, this is Dr. Von Mad for Catapult Time. If you like what you see, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified. And we'll see you guys in the next video and on the flip side.